Did you know that Michigan has completely revamped its auto insurance no-fault laws as of July 1st?
Okay, so you've got to stay tuned so you learn what's going to be affecting you. Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in.
Make sure you like our video and subscribe to the Ladies-in-Law.
Yeah, you know that little heart and thumbs up at the bottom of your screen? Click it before you do anything else.
Right, because legal news like this is too hot to miss, and we're bringing it to you every Thursday at 3 p.m. I'm Rippy.
And I'm Shake.
And we're the Ladies-in-Law,
where we're ripping and shaking up all the legal information you know, need to know, and want to know.
From the tabloids to the courthouse to your own home.
So for this episode, we're talking about the Michigan auto insurance reform, which has completely changed Michigan's no-fault rules.
Right.
And it affects every driver and every car accident. So it's affecting everyone. So, okay. These are changes that include personal injury protection, PIP, choice and opt-outs, elimination of certain non-driving related factors from rates, and increased bodily injury liability coverage, attendant care, hour limits, and a new Medicare-based fee schedule for medical services.
So it's essential that all drivers and car accident victims understand these changes so they know how they affect them. First, we'll start with the personal injury, or PIP for shorthand, choice. So since 1973, all drivers in Michigan have been required to carry unlimited PIP benefits.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why the insurance policies in Michigan are some of the highest in the country.
We know.
Absolutely ridiculous. But the good thing is the new law changes this. So now drivers have options where they don't have to carry this unlimited PIP benefit on their policy. So there's 4 options. First, the lowest option is $50,000 for drivers, but only for those who are on Medicaid. So most people, unfortunately, won't be able to qualify for this. But the next option is $250,000. Then you have $500,000, and the last option is unlimited, which is what was already in place.
Okay, good to know. Well, what you also need to know is that for each of these levels, there are mandatory average rate reductions. So let's go over those. For the unlimited full coverage, only a 10% rate reduction, okay? $500,000 and a slight rate reduction. You gain slight savings. For less coverage, 20% required rate reduction. $250,000. That's now a 35% required rate reduction. So less coverage, more savings. And then there's $50,000. That's required. You have to be on Medicaid to qualify, and that's when you get a 45% rate reduction. Which, wow, this all seems like
that's a lot.
Awesome. Like, great, okay. Tons of rate reductions, your premiums going down. Who wouldn't want that? Especially us Michigan residents that have been paying that high insurance for auto insurance. Oh my gosh. Problem is, there's some factors that are being altered with that don't necessarily make this all as pretty and beautiful as it seems, which, yeah, people aren't going to be so happy about.
Yeah, and those rates that Amina talked about were average rates based on the state. So some people will go up, some people go down. As long as the overall average decreases by that rate, then the insurance companies will be in compliance with the new law.
Yeah.
So next, we're going to talk about how some people's rates can actually go up.
Oh.
The new law eliminates certain non-driving related factors that used to be part of the whole formula that determined what someone's premium was. And these factors actually help some drivers. They hurt some people, help some people. But here they are: sex, marital status, home ownership, education level status, occupation, zip codes, and credit score.
Ooh, okay. Interesting.
Now, with the removal of these factors, as we discussed, some people's rates have went up, and some people's rates have went up a lot.
Oh.
Especially in Detroit, where the auto insurance rates are just out the roof. These are the highest in the state. I know when I lived in the city proper, when I first moved here, I was paying $350 a month.
Whew.
and I was paying $75 a month for the same car in Ohio. So
in Ohio, $75
to $350, just to
Oh
give you
my
guys a
goodness.
kind of understanding. So some of these factors actually help people, but now that they're eliminated, some people's rates have went up. They're not happy about it, but you know, other people's have went down. So it's really a double-edged sword.
Ooh, it really is. Well, okay, so let's move past that. Let's talk about when you can completely opt out of the PIP medical coverage. So drivers who have Medicare, they can choose to opt out of PIP medical benefits altogether. But if they're injured in a car accident, their insurer will not pay for any accident-related medical bills. Well, the legislative intent behind this is that these drivers, they're going to turn to Medicare for the medical coverage for their injuries suffered in a car accident.
Right, so if they're not paying for it, they're not going to get the benefit.
Makes sense.
So now we're going to move on to bodily injury liability coverage. And this covers an accident that injures or takes the life of another person. Drivers are now required to carry more of this bodily injury liability insurance than they were before. It is a mouthful. So it used to be that drivers only had to have $20,000 minimum on their policy. Now the standard is $250,000. So if you don't actually proactively inform your insurer that you want a different level, they're going to just flat out give you the $250,000.
Oh, I didn't know that. I learned something.
You do have the option to lower it down to either $50,000 or $100,000. So $50,000 is the lowest, but it's still more than $20,000. So this increase is going to offset some of those PIP coverage savings that some people would otherwise get.
Oh boy, okay. Well, let's talk about attendant care coverage, okay? Auto insurance companies will not be obligated to pay for more than 56 hours per week for in-home, family-provided attendant care coverage that's provided after July 1st, 2021. Okay, this limitation, however, does not apply to attendant care provided by a nurse from a commercial agency or in a residential facility. So 56 hours, there's 24 hours in a day. That's not that much in a whole week. I mean, you're talking about pretty much 2 days worth of attendant care coverage.
Well, if, you know, for shifts, like if someone comes in, 12 hours a day, you know, whatever.
Right.
But not,
there's
around the clock, no, it's not a lot.
Yeah, but there is a workaround, so we'll see how that works out.
In addition, there will now be a Medicare-based fee schedule for medical services provided. So this really affects hospitals, doctors, all medical providers. So this also starts July 1st, 2021. Doctors, hospitals, clinics, medical providers, and other people who treat or care for car accident victims will have to charge a fee based on a Medicare fee schedule. So the government through Medicare is going to say, look, these are the rates that are allowed for these type of injuries, and that's it. You can't charge more than that. So we'll see, you know, how this really affects people. I mean, I honestly think that's a good thing.
I do.
But sometimes, you know, some of these providers can, you know, when they know that they're car accident victims and they know insurance is going to pay for everything, they jack up the price.
That's true. No, that's very true. So we'll see how it plays out. Okay, well, we just threw you a lot of information on something that's really important for Michigan residents. The no-fault laws have been in place since
1973.
Yeah, so, and it's very unique to Michigan, and this is really something that's going to impact every person that's on the road, essentially. Again, a lot of information, so let's break it down. There's 5 main points you need to remember, okay? So, like Jasmine said, since 1973, all Michigan auto policies were required to include a lifetime PIP medical coverage. But now, not the case. Drivers can choose between 4 different levels of coverage. 2, these levels also have mandatory rate reductions, which seems great, right? But remember what we said, it's a double-edged sword. So 3, that double-edged sword comes in play because the new law eliminates certain factors that will actually cause some people's rates to increase. And 4, Drivers who have Medicare can choose to opt out of PIP medical benefits altogether. Oh, and then there's a 5. Drivers are now required to carry more bodily injury insurance than before. So we'll see how it plays out. I think it's pretty interesting. I mean, we're going to be affected.
Yeah, all you have to do is call your insurer and tell them, you know, you want to make these changes. I know some of the insurance companies have said that you can't make the changes until your policy renews, but you're supposed to be able to do it ASAP. I mean, the law went into effect July 1st, July 2nd, so if you call your insurer and say, I want to change my policy, I want to lower my PIP, I want to do that, they should do it.
So thanks for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe so you get all the hottest legal news every week from the ladies in law.
That's another episode of Ladies in Law, not your average lawyers. Rip it up, shake it up, rip it up, shake it up, rip it up.